Hey everyone, on today's video I want to talk about personal Grail comic books, the comic books that you love for more than their financial value. The comic books that you saw when you were younger, that were too expensive for you to buy at the time, or just could never find a copy to buy. Just could never get your hands on that comic book that you just wanted to have. For me, one of my personal grails has always been Scud, the Disposable Assassin #1 First Printing. When I first discovered the Scud comic book, and maybe been shortly after it probably came out, there was this secondhand strip mall bookstore that had like bulk copies of books and comics, and one of those comics that they had like several hundred of in several boxes was Scud, the second printing. Just on a whim, happened to be there, bought a copy, loved it instantly because it was such a departure from the comic books I had read to that point in my life. Coming from primarily the mainstream DC, like Batman comic books, and a lot of Marvel, X-Men, Spider-Man, the staples that most new comic book readers when they're young gravitate towards, the mainstays. So when I came across this book, like I said, it was such a weird, strange, just out of the box like tale of this robot just hired to kill a monster. And it's such a fun read from the first panel to the last. I at the time, I didn't even realize, like, I knew nothing about Scud. It was just, like I said, some random comic that I happened to pick up. It's such a fun way to discover new comic books, new creators, artists, writers, what have you. And so ever since then, I have slowly built the run of Scud issues in my collection through very slow progression, through mainly comic book conventions, the Fall Con here in Minnesota, and Spring Con as well. Come across an issue here or there. For whatever reason, Scud comics are incredibly rare to find in vendors' boxes, whether it be the dollar bins or the more expensive, higher priced book bins. I mainly stay to the cheaper side of things. I love getting comics on the cheap. It's what I gravitate towards. It's my collecting kryptonite. I love a good deal. I love just getting, like I said, I love getting comics cheaply. And for the most part, you can find most of the Scud issues pretty cheaply. At least you could before maybe the last five years or so. 5-ish years. And like I said, I built my Scud collection through those means, just pulling out just dollar copies every now and then. Anyways, so for the longest time, I was missing 2 issues. One, like I said, was Scud First Printing #1. Like I said, I had the second printing, had that like for since like 96, 97, 98. And the other issue that I just was never able to find was Scud issue 9. And recently I purchased two separate listings on eBay. The first listing was just solely for Scud, the Scud #1 First Printing. And when I first started looking for trying to get this issue, I come to find out that a graded copy, 9698 graded copy of this issue is being trying to, at least people are listing for upwards of $1,000 for this issue, which to me seems insane. I know comics are worth that because people will pay it, but it seems insane to me to pay that much for a comic book, but some are worth it. Apparently people are paying that much for this comic. So come to find out, the seller was selling this issue for $55, which I snapped up immediately. It was an incredible bargain, and had a little back and forth with the seller on eBay, and the guy or gal who was behind the listing was selling it, yes, for $55, but they were like, through our conversation, they weren't trying to make like this huge profit on the book. They just wanted to sell it to someone who would appreciate it. And I told them my history with Scud and my love of Scud and everything, and how long I've been trying to get my hands on a copy, and they were thrilled. I don't know if that encouraged them to do this or not, but when I got the package in the mail, the seller included 2 extra comic books. These are Scud #2, which also apparently can fetch a couple $100 on a graded copy, and Tokyo Ghost #1, by Sean Gordon Murphy, which is another favorite kind of indie comic of mine. I love Sean Murphy's artwork. His storytelling is amazing. But the seller had no idea that I loved this series. Just like I said, included just these random issues with my purchase. So I got essentially 3 books for $55, which was pretty awesome. Then the second listing that I purchased was a lot of 14 Scud issues for $14, which is an incredible price. A super sweet deal. They're they're not, you know, in mint condition, which if you've come across Scud back issues at conventions, for whatever reason, collectors just have never really taken great care of them. You'll find a lot of, you know, spine damage, spine ticks and everything, you know, rough corners. But, you know, I buy these books because I love the series. It's, you know, I'm not looking at, like, I don't need them to be pristine. But with this lot, it was the issue number 9. This was the other issue in my Scud collection that I had never been able to find a copy of. And supposedly this is and maybe the reason this is so hard to find is, I guess this is supposed to be the very first comic that had the action figure cover artwork that has been come into play more recently with a lot of Marvel titles doing this style cover with the action figure. So kind of a key historic issue there. But like I said, it's 14 comics for $14. Pretty sweet deal. You know, they're just, the reason I bought it was just to get another copy of the second printing, and like I said, to finally get my hands on this missing issue in my collection. So, you know, gladly take, you know, all these duplicate issues to throw into my collection. But yeah, if you've never read Scud or know nothing about it, I highly recommend it to any comic book reader who just wants such a fun tale that through 24 issues just is such a fantastic journey for the main protagonist, Scud. Just meeting lots of random new fun buddies along the way. You know, so yeah, all told, the lot of the 14 issues plus the 3, all told together, they average out to about $4 per book, which is an incredible steal for these comics. Like I said, if I wanted to get this graded and everything, like, and try and sell it, which I don't want to do and probably never will, you know, it's more than worth it. But it's more the finally having this, like I said, the personal Grail issue that I've been trying to get my hands on for many years. It's nice to finally have a home in my collection. So that's a recent acquiring of a personal Grail. So in the comments below, what do you think about the deal I got on all these comics? What are your personal Grails, regardless of monetary value? Like, not the mainstream ones, the Hulk 181, Amazing Spider-Man 300. Like, everybody wants those books, obviously. But what are the off the wall issues that you're looking for and just struggling to find to add to your collection? I'd love to hear your stories about your searches, the troubles you're having finding them. So yeah, leave those comments down below and let's talk some comics. So yeah, if you enjoyed this type of video about personal grails, let me know also. And if you can, like, subscribe, and share this video channel. Um,